A good number of Chinese-made electric vehicles could soon hit Canadian markets after an agreement was reached to lower tariffs on their imports from 100% to 6%.
Just north of the American border, something is happening that is making car lovers in the United States very, very angry. Canada just opened its doors to Chinese electric cars, and the United States cannot do a single thing about it.
American tariffs have dealt a blow to Canadian auto manufacturing, and the Canadian government is striking deals with other countries. Canada is dropping the 100% duty on Chinese EVs and is allowing about 50,000 vehicles into the country at a tariff rate of 6.1%.
Here is how this all started. A few years ago, Canada and the United States were on the same team. When America put a 100% tax on Chinese electric cars, Canada did the same thing. China was not happy. So China hit back by putting taxes on Canadian food exports like canola, seafood, and pork. Both sides were hurting.
Well, Prime Minister Mark Carney came to China with one key objective, and that was to get rid of punishing tariffs on Canadian canola. Canadian canola producers have been paying tariffs 75 to 100% depending on the product, and those tariffs are coming down now to 15% starting on March the 1st. And it's not just canola, there are other Canadian agricultural and agri-food products where we will also see Chinese tariffs drop. Think about lobster, think about some other seafood products. So that's good news. Agricultural products that have been facing steep tariffs, they will be coming off.
Then, Donald Trump became president again. He started putting heavy taxes on goods from many countries, including Canada. This actually pushed Canada away from America and closer to China. Canada needed new trade partners, and China was right there waiting. So in January 2026, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney flew to Beijing and sat down with Chinese President Xi Jinping. They made a deal. China agreed to lower taxes on Canadian farm products like canola and lobster. In return, Canada agreed to let 49,000 Chinese electric cars into the country at a much lower tax rate of just 6.1%. Carney explained his thinking simply. He said, China's strengths in the electric vehicle sector are undeniable. In order for Canada to build its own competitive EV sector, we need to learn from innovative partners. And just like that, the door was open. On March 1, 2026, the Canadian market officially welcomed Chinese electric cars. Now, 49,000 cars sounds like a lot, but it is actually less than 3% of Canada's total car market. Still, this moment is huge, because Chinese cars have never truly entered North America before. They sell in Europe, Africa, and Asia, but America has always kept them out. Now, Canada has cracked open a small door. America's response was immediate and blunt. U.S. Ambassador to Canada Pete Hoekstra made the situation crystal clear. He said, those cars can come in from China, come into Canada, but they're not going to cross the border into the U.S. We're not going to open the floodgates to Chinese cars entering the U.S. from Canada. His reason was national security, specifically fears about data collection in modern connected cars. The U.S. already has rules in place banning the import of vehicles using certain Chinese technology, with software restrictions starting from 2027 car models and hardware restrictions following in 2030. And it might get even stricter. Senator Bernie Moreno is pushing new legislation that would expand the ban further, covering hardware, software, and business partnerships too. He also encouraged Canada, Mexico, and Europe to do the same. So this is not just about stopping cars at a border anymore. America wants to keep Chinese car technology away from its market entirely, no matter where the cars are made. But the harder America pushes back, the more curious people get. A recent Cox Automotive survey found that 49% of American consumers rated Chinese car brands highly for value, and 40% said they would support Chinese brands entering the U.S. market. Dealers were not as excited, but regular buyers, they want to know what they are missing. And what they are missing is genuinely shocking. So let's talk about what Canada is actually getting. The Zeekr 001 is a station wagon that looks nothing like any station wagon you have ever seen. It starts at around $37,500 in China. For that price, the standard version produces 777 horsepower. The top version goes over 1,000, It goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.3 seconds, which is faster than a Porsche Taycan 4S. The doors open automatically when you walk up, just like a Rolls-Royce, and close themselves when you press the brake. Inside, there is a 5-inch screen that swivels toward you when you speak to it, a 2.8-speaker Yamaha sound system, and a heads-up display that paints navigation arrows directly onto the road in front of you. The battery charges from 10% to 80% in just 11 minutes. You cannot even use the bathroom fast enough before this car is ready to go. In America, $37,500 gets you a basic SUV with cloth seats. Next is the Avatar 12, and this one will make you look twice. Has no rear window, not a small one, not a tinted one. There is just solid metal where a rear window should be. Instead, a camera system gives you a live feed inside the car that shows more than any glass window could. The front of the car has a screen on the hood that can show messages, animations, and even smile at people walking by. The entire dashboard is one giant 5-inch screen stretching across the full width of the car. The seats recline into a sleeping position. This car uses Huawei technology with 3 LiDAR sensors that read the road in full 3D, spotting objects hundreds of meters away in complete darkness. It can handle city traffic without you touching the wheel. The price in China is $42,000. A Tesla Model 3 costs that in America, and it does none of this. Then there is the BYD Yang Wang U7.
这次的任务很有挑战性，记住，东西绝对不能晃动。你们只有5分钟时间。
没时间了，咱们得快点了，抄小路吧。这怎么办？还能这么开？还能过去吗？想个办法！喂！
This is a 4-door family sedan with 1,300 horsepower. That is not a typo. It has 4 electric motors, 1 at each wheel, and it goes from 0 to 60 inches 2.9 seconds. That is faster than a Lamborghini Aventador. It also holds the world record for the lowest wind resistance of any production car ever made. But the most jaw-dropping feature is what happens when a tire blows at highway speed. The car's computer instantly adjusts the other 3 wheels to keep the car straight and safely drive you to a stop. The car essentially lifts the broken corner like an injured leg and keeps moving. Inside, 3 massive screens span the full dashboard, and a 2.3 speaker sound system rises out of the dashboard when you start the car. The price is around $90,000 to $100,000 in China. A Porsche with similar performance costs over $230,000. Then there is NIO ET9, the car that went viral for shaking snow off itself like a wet dog. This is not a trick. The suspension system is so advanced and so precise that each wheel can move up and down independently in 1 millisecond. NIO actually demonstrated this by stacking a tower of champagne glasses on the hood and driving over speed bumps. Not one glass fell. The car is over 17 feet long, bigger than a Mercedes S-Class, and yet it turns tighter than a Mini Cooper thanks to rear-wheel steering. It charges at 900 volts, adding 160 miles of range in just 5 minutes. The rear seats recline to 45 degrees like a first-class airline suite, and a built-in fridge keeps your drinks cold while you float over bumps. Price in China is $112,000. A Rolls-Royce Ghost starts at $350,000, and at number 1 is the Maestro S800. This car was built by Huawei and jacked together with one clear goal: to replace the Rolls-Royce in the minds of wealthy buyers. It is nearly 18 feet long. The headlights have thousands of tiny LEDs that shimmer like diamonds. When you unlock it, the car performs a full light show. The paint is hand-polished to look like liquid metal. Inside, the ceiling is an animated starry sky with shooting stars, something Rolls-Royce has never offered. There are 43 speakers producing 2,000 watts of sound. The rear seats are individual thrones with heated leg rests, heated armrests, and a heated neck pillow. The car runs on Huawei's Harmony OS, meaning your phone and car are one connected system. Video calls transfer from your phone to the car automatically. It also has Level 3 autonomous driving, which means you can legally take your hands off the wheel in many situations. The price ranges from $140,000 to $200,000. A Rolls-Royce Ghost starts at $350,000. A Phantom is $500,000. Back in Canada, the excitement is not just about buying these cars, it is also about making them. Stellantis is currently in early talks with its Chinese partner Leapmotor to build electric cars at an idled plant in Brampton, Ontario, where thousands of workers have been laid off for years. Canadian Industry Minister Melanie Joly has been very clear about what she wants. She said, "We believe that these great Canadian champions can partner with Chinese EV companies to make a Canadian-Chinese car to export it around the world. But nobody knows yet whether a car built in Canada by a Chinese company would even be allowed to cross into the United States." Zhang Xiang, a leading auto industry analyst in Shanghai, put it best. He said, "Chinese cars have already been sold in many parts of the world, Europe, Asia, Africa, but they have never really been able to enter North America. The US has basically been blocking access. Now, Canada has opened a small door. That small door just changed everything." What are your thoughts on Chinese cars? Please tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting videos.